So, again, thank you, Holly, for inviting myself. I don't think I see Bruce on here, my boss. So I'll just go ahead and get going with a little presentation on my KY. I'll share my screen at the end and kind of walk you through the app, but I don't have like a slideshow or anything to share, just information for you. So like Holly said, I work for Family Scholar House. I'm the web app manager for myky.info. MyKY.info is an online web-based app that you can access on any smart device, so a phone or a computer, through any web browser, so Safari, Google Chrome, the internet. It is a web-based app, not an App Store app, so you can't find it in your App Store like Google apps or iPhone apps. So you can only access it through a URL by typing in myky.info. MyKY.info actually started about 7 years ago in Louisville, Kentucky, as Louis Connect. And it really actually started a lot longer than that in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Our CEO in Louisville saw the app in Pittsburgh and wanted to bring it in Louisville. And basically, it was just a way for people to connect to free resources in the Louisville area. So when that launched, I believe in 2017, it was somehow I got muted. But yeah,
Sorry,
know.
that was my bad. I was trying to.
It's okay. I just kept getting muted, and I was like, "What's going on?"
Sorry.
No, you're okay. But yeah, it started in Louisville, and about 2 years ago, our CEO wanted to take it statewide because it was doing so well in Louisville, and so that's when Bruce got hired on to take it statewide, and then Bruce hired me back in November of 2022 to be the web manager. So it's just Bruce and myself, but we also have 6 contracted staff members through AmeriCorps throughout the state of Kentucky. And they're just placed in different areas in Kentucky. And they are in charge of finding the free resources in their community, in their assigned regions, and getting those free resources to me, and I add them into the app. So, like I said, when we started, we had just like a little over 300 resources plugged into the app, and now we're at over 2,500 services statewide in myky.info. So more than likely, wherever you're at in the state of Kentucky, the app operates off a 25-mile radius. You're likely going to find at least one free resource in your area. The more rural areas, we're still working on getting resources plugged in, but again, we're at about 2,500 with a goal of getting to closer to 12,000 resources by the time it's all said and done, if you will. On top of adding new resources every month, I add about 100 to 200 resources every month. I also update resources that have been in the app for 6 months to a year, so that way we have accurate and up-to-date information. So if an organization changed locations, have a new phone number, have new hours of operation, or just no longer exist, we make sure to keep that information up to date and accurate. So I update about 60 to 100 resources each month, just to, like I said, ensure that the information is accurate in our app. Really, the app was started to help people in crisis who didn't know about certain resources in their area. It was for people to use anonymously, for people to use in the privacy of their own home. But as we're growing, we're seeing a lot more people in like the social work field in service, case management, really utilizing this app with their clients because, you know, service workers have 5 million things on their plate, and knowing what services exist in their area is just one less thing that you need to worry about now if you can just go to MyKY and click a couple buttons and find what you're looking for. One thing I really love, so I come from a background of social work. I worked at the Department of Child Services in Indiana for almost 4 years before doing this. And so I would carry around like a 50-page resource guide with me to clients' house to get them connected to, utility bill help or child care assistance or housing or whatever it is that they needed. And resource guides are so great. I love them, but it's so hard to keep updated information in them because you have to reprint them, redistribute them. And it's a lot. It's a big task to keep up with. So I know, like, if I had something like this when I was in social work, it would have been very beneficial and very helpful. And one thing I do love about MyKY, just from a social worker background, is usually people in crisis don't just need help with one area. Like, they don't just need their electric bill paid. They need transportation assistance. They need healthcare assistance or childcare assistance. They usually need like 5 or 6 or 10 plus different areas of things that in their life that they need help with. And so when you're on MyKY, you can see a plethora of different services. You could go to MyKY in need of diapers for your baby and then see that there is a section for utility bill help and realize that you're going to be short on rent this month and see what resources in your area help with utility bill help. So I just love that, you could stumble upon the app for one reason and then get several needs met in one stop. And you're not having to flip through 60 pages to find a phone number or an organization. It's just like 2 clicks and you get that information. Another thing that I wanted to let you guys know about is I do track our data every month. This app is anonymous, so I can't track who uses the app, but I do track overall utilization. So how many people are using it each month, what demographic of people are using it, what I can see, like what areas in Kentucky most utilize the app, what categories people are looking for. So housing crisis, food pantries, jobs, things like that. And I do track that every month. And I've only been doing that for just about a year now. So we don't really have a lot of like comparative data yet since it's only been a year of tracking it, but it is really nice to know, like, there's over 5,000 people utilizing the app each month. And it'll be helpful once we're able to really analyze this data on a year-to-year, month-to-month basis to get that data to people like you guys and people in your community, so communities know, like, hey, 500 people are looking for homeless shelters each month in our area. What can we do to alleviate that issue? Do we need more shelters? Do we need more housing opportunity for people who are looking for housing? So it's definitely going to be a very helpful thing for just like social services in general when it comes to serving those in the community. One other thing that I wanted to touch base on is, like I said, this is a web app. You have to have a phone or a computer to access this. People in crisis don't always have phones or computers. So one thing that we do to mitigate that issue is we have kiosks throughout the state of Kentucky. Right now we've got, I think, right at 60 kiosks placed throughout different areas in the state of Kentucky with, no plans on stopping the placement of kiosks. The limit does not exist for kiosk placement for us. We want to get as many kiosks out in the community. A lot of places that we have them in right now is like public places like libraries, community centers, places that people in crisis may frequent often. And our kiosks are used every day. People are using them to access the resources in their area because they don't have another way to access them. So my boss, Bruce, yeah, yeah, yes,
Hey, Nicole, I have a question. So would it
I
be
can send
possible
you a
to
PDF and then you
receive
can
a
distribute
list
it
of the
to
kiosk
um,
locations
everybody if that
since
works for
our
you.
program? Okay, cool.
Okay. And most of them are, I will say, in Louisville since that's where this started, but there's probably, I think we've got like 30 to 35 in Louisville. So the other 30 are throughout the state, placed in different locations. But we do have plans to continue to add kiosks throughout the state. I will say a lot of the kiosk installation, I'm not really part of that process. My boss handles most of that. So if you did know of an organization or someone interested in purchasing a kiosk, I would just connect you with my boss and we would get that ball rolling. It's just a one-time purchase of $7,000 and then we handle everything else. A lot of the times it's bigger companies sponsoring kiosks. So Toyota in Lexington, I think they purchased like 6 or 8 kiosks last year, and they picked the places that they wanted to have them placed in Lexington. Um, so it's a lot of times that's how it unfolds. Is a big company like Toyota has money to throw at nonprofits and they purchase these kiosks and place them into different locations in their community that could really use a kiosk. The kiosks are such a cool part of my KY because we're really getting to partner with the community and um, uh, it's just been a really neat process watching kiosks get installed because we're bringing a resource that just doesn't really exist in most places. Like online resource guides are few and far between to find up-to-date ones or accurate ones. And then to have something like a kiosk is just so special. So we're very, very grateful that we've got that part of my KY program. I'm trying to think. Again, like I said, we've got 2,500 plus services in the app right now, and I add about 100 to 200 each month. So let me go ahead and pull up my KY, and then I will show you how the app works, and then kind of leave some room for questions. Let's see. Holly, how do I share my screen on this? I've never used this platform. Let's see. I think I found it. Well, it says your computer is unable to support these features. Let's see.
If you go, so
May
right
have
at the
to
bottom.
turn something on.
Okay.
You could send it to us and Holly or I could share it.
Okay, yeah, just go to myky.info. Okay, and where are you located at, Holly?
Do you just want me
Okay,
to go to
perfect.
the
Frankfurt
myky.
is a perfect place to
Okay,
show
give me
as
just
an
a second.
example.
I'll do that. Frankfurt. Okay, give me just a second and I'll share my screen.
Also, can I say, whoever ACK2326 is, can you let me know if you're a member? Because if not, I don't know who you are. And you'll have to go.
Okay. So that is what the home screen looks like. It was looking like it didn't fit my screen either when I went to it, so I may have to look into some of our back end to see why the screen's not displaying properly. But regardless, this is the home screen. So as you see, we call this home screen like our first dial. So we've got the male, female, veterans, immigrants and refugees, seniors 60 and over, foster youth and alumni, and then families category. So for me personally, if I was using the app, I would select female 25 and older. And then you just hit the services button where it says services, click here. And then it pulls up our different categories. As you can see, there's the pantry and supplies, meals, overnight shelter, daytime shelter, housing crisis, health, financial and legal help, activities and support group, and then jobs and education. So Holly, why don't you click on pantry and supplies up there at the top. And then it'll take you to this page of subcategories within the pantry and supply button. And then if you select food pantries, so it is going to pull up, based on your location, a list of food pantries closest to you, which it seems that there's not a ton close to you, or there may be a location setting that I need to update. But this is just a list of different food pantries in the area. So Holly, if you just click on any one of them, so then that shows you that specific food pantry's information, their address, their hours of operation. If you're on your phone, you could hit call. If you're on your phone, you could hit directions, and well, really on a computer or the kiosk too, the Google Maps will come up and show you like where you're at physically versus where that organization is. And then that feedback button just gives you the opportunity to like give feedback to my KY. It sends an email to myself letting me know, hey, either I found this resource on my KY, it helped me, or this resource doesn't exist anymore, or the phone number was wrong. So you can like directly give feedback. And then if you hit the X button, up at the top right, there's that little heart button that you could select to favorite certain resources on your own computer or device if you wanted to keep certain resources in your favorites button. And then also up at the top, you see there's the button for the English drop down, because we have this app translated into Spanish and French statewide. And then if you're in the Louisville area, we're working on getting it translated to Arabic. And then if you scroll down on this homepage, you'll see the crisis line and safe places. So that's, hotlines like a sexual abuse hotline, mental health hotline, substance abuse hotlines. You see them all there. So we still have a long way to go on adding hotlines for specific areas, but we've got pretty much all of the statewide hotlines plugged into the app. So but some like bigger cities have more like local hotlines that people can call for crisis situations. And then if you hit the back button on next to where it says for you, there's down at the bottom, it says live help, and that'll just take you to our call center. So you can call Family Scholar House's call center 7 days a week, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., or maybe it's just 6 days a week. I'm blanking on that accuracy. But then one more thing I wanted to show you, if you hit the back button on the For You, if you didn't want to select a demographic, you can always, up on the top, just select the All Services button, and it's just not going to filter things that don't apply to you. So there may be services that's just for veterans, but when you click the All Services tab, you're going to see every service listed in the app in your area. One other thing actually that I want to show you, our white flag. It's crazy. The white flag's just in place for the Louisville area right now. We're working on getting that added to be a statewide feature. It's so nice out today, but I got the notification that white flag is in effect, so it's on there. So if you see Holly down at the bottom where it says change location, can you click that? So you can just type in any city or zip code in Kentucky, and it's going to pull up services for that city. So if you're in, like Holly's in Frankfort, but maybe she was servicing a client all the way in Paducah. I don't know if you guys have situations like that, but there are situations that we encounter where people are servicing someone halfway across the state. And so you can still pull up resources in that person's area. But I think that's a pretty good overview of the app. It's obviously, I think, very user-friendly, very straightforward. And, it was meant to be user-friendly because usually people in crisis don't have time to deal with technical difficulties. They just need to get their information and get it as quickly as possible. So I think that's all, Holly, on my end. I can definitely leave the floor open for any type of questions. One other thing I will say is I do have some marketing materials, so just business cards, flyers, and posters that advertise my ky.info that I'm always happy to send if you wanted to hand those out to people in your community or advertise those in different locations in your community, like libraries, schools, or whatever. I can always mail those out, no cost to anybody but to Family Scholar House. So I think that's all on my end, and if there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Yes. Mhm.
I have a question.
Yes, so we've got 6
I know
Vista
whenever
members
you,
that are placed
at the
throughout
beginning
the
of,
state, and they pretty much
letting
cover
us
the
know and
entire
updating
state.
us
There's
about,
probably
my
10,
KY info,
12
you
counties that are
mentioned
not covered, but
6 regions.
those counties are either really
What do you know,
small or
like what
places that we just
regions
haven't made
those
connections with.
are, or like counties?
And so, like, for example, like Marion, Washington, what was the other two? Marion, Washington, LaRue, and Nelson are 4 like smaller counties that we don't have covered by any Vista members, but I'm working with what's that group called? I get so confused. I'm working with a very big statewide group that is working on a marketing campaign for us, and they've got people in those 4 counties. So I just assigned those 4 counties to 2 of our Vista members to start working on resources being added into the app. So even if there was a county or an area uncovered by a Vista member, I can always assign it to them, and they can get to working on adding resources in that area. But all of the major and semi-major cities and counties in Kentucky are being covered by a Vista member, and we have somebody kind of like, we call it like on the ground. So like they're there in the community to if there's any need to do any type of like in-person stuff, they could do that. Yes. Mhm.
Okay, now I have another question. With the kiosks, because I think that that's really cool, and we actually, with Family Scholar House is one of our partner sites with our Vista and our AmeriCorps program, and we noticed the kiosk that's in the front lobby of the office, and so who? I know you mentioned like people
I
like
would just get you
larger
connected to my boss
organizations or
Bruce, and
companies that kind of
he can
sponsor and
either
purchase those
work
kiosks
one-on-one with
to
you
be
or with
throughout
a
the
specific
state.
organization or
Is
company to get a
is
kiosk
there like a
sponsored.
contact person
So he kind of
for
handles all that. Like if
learning
you
more
guys were wanting a
about
kiosk but didn't know how to
having a
get a
kiosk, or
kiosk
like what does that
purchased,
look like?
Bruce 99% of the time is going to get that kiosk purchased in place where you want it. He's really good at getting sponsors and donors for that. So I don't know if you have Bruce's information, but I can, when I send you the kiosk list, I can include Bruce's email in that as well, so you can email him about the kiosk. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, thank you. I just was thinking we have here in Frankfurt. I wish there were more resources that were listed, and that's not like that's
I actually
Family
got
Scholar
myself
House's fault at all.
confused. I
Franklin
live in
County
Indiana,
is
and so I'm
actually pretty
still
dry when
learning
it
all
comes
of
to.
Kentucky's
We're very
demographics.
limited on resources.
Yeah, we don't. Frankfurt
So
and Franklin County, we actually
it would
don't have
be a
anyone
cool
in that area, so
resource
that
to
is why
have at the
when you
Frankfurt
pulled it up on your
Library.
computer,
We
it
have a
is very
large
dry.
library.
So I do apologize.
And
I thought,
I think that it would be cool. Yeah.
mhm. Frankfurt and Franklin County, we just don't have any. Oh, for sure. I would love that. I would love that. Yeah, I thought
No,
Frankfurt was
that's not you.
a
Do you
big
ever
city
feel like
in Kentucky.
I know you have Vistas
Maybe
that
I'm
this is part of
thinking
their
of someplace
project.
else. I
So
don't know.
if you ever wanted to get connected to like the
Okay.
resources that like we know that like HHC, like other community partners that HHCK works with, I'd be happy to connect you with coworker. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying.
It is our capital. It is the state capital. But it is, it is a little smaller. And yeah, so our resources are a little limited. But yeah, we could definitely, of course, HHCK being
Yeah.
small and working with a few other partner
Yeah, I definitely would be
organizations,
glad
we've
to
made
get my
like
hands on
a
that, and
small,
we
resource
we
list
would,
that we
vet
would be
everything
happy.
in there anyway. So we would look
don't think
into making
anybody
sure
on
that
our
that
housing
information
services
in the
team
guide
would
was
be
accurate before adding it to the app
against
and
us
things
sharing
like that.
that
But
resource
no, that'd be great.
information with you, because it's all updated with active community resources so that it can be shared on the website.
Emily, I would love that McCracken County guide, because I'm actually meeting with Baptist Paducah next week to go over missing resources in their area, because they're sponsoring some kiosks soon. So that's exciting, which we actually have 4 kiosks placed in the far western area of Kentucky. We've got one in Paducah,
Does anybody else have any
Murray,
questions for Nicole?
Graves, and Benton, all in the libraries down there. So I'll put my email in the chat. Let's see.
And Nicole, I'm happy to share what we always do, like
Yes.
a recap
Mhm.
summary
Yes,
email
that is totally
to
fine.
be sent out with
Okay,
the
and I
recording of our
totally
training. So I'd be
typed my
happy
email
to
address wrong. I
share
thought
that in our
didn't
email
sound
too.
right.
So if anybody, like I said, our program
One
is
second, let
statewide.
me.
So, after our members kind of check out the website and know of a active
I feel like my mind's in a million
resource
places right now
isn't
because, like I
listed
did
yet,
say, I
they
am
can share that with
35
you
weeks pregnant.
and
My
add
son
it, and
turns 2
that'd be
next
great.
week, so I'm trying to plan his birthday and get this house ready for 2 babies. So I'm like mentally 5 million places, but
You're doing amazing.
thanks. I love that. Was there any other questions that anybody may have or comments? Yeah, from Sanja, or is it Sonia? Sonia, yes.
Yeah,
Yes, I just copy and pasted that and sent it
we're
to
a pretty
myself
relaxed group.
via
I
email so I can
promise.
make that correction. I feel like that actually happens a lot in Kentucky. There's like a county and a city
Yeah,
with the same
Nicole,
name, but that city is not in
I
that
think one of
county.
our
It's in a different
members
county.
sent you
And
a
so when I
private
put
message
information
if
in,
you
I
wouldn't
put
care
the wrong
to
county.
look at that.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, that is very confusing.
Sonia, yeah.
Like in far western, like there's Fulton County and there's Fulton, Kentucky, but I don't think Fulton, Kentucky is in Fulton County. I think it's in Clinton County. And that to me is very confusing. And so I've had to change a lot in the app because it's been inaccurate. Uh-huh. Yeah, and then I try and know where, like, the city is located physically, so I
Yes.
know, like, oh, is this on Eastern
Yes,
time
well,
zone
I
or Central
think
time
whenever
zone
I told
because
you that I
Kentucky
was
has
in
both.
Frankfort, so in Simpson
So
County,
because that's
there
another thing that's
is
in
a
our app
city
is
called the
hours of
City of
operation, so I've gotta
Franklin,
make sure
and it's in
to try and
Simpson
specify
County. So that is
Central
super
versus
confusing
Eastern,
because
which the
Frankfort,
app will pick
the
up if
city of
you're in Central
Frankfort
or
is in
Eastern time.
Franklin County.
But I
Yeah.
still like to
Yes.
put it in writing that it's Central or Eastern time. Mhm.
Well, thank you so much for talking us through this now statewide resource. I think that it's really cool. It is really user friendly. So I really hope that our members can utilize that in their areas. Or again, some of our members that are over in McCracken, they have some resources, and that's the really awesome thing about our members serving in our program. Nobody wants to just hold on to a resource. Everybody wants to share that resource. We want to serve as many people as we can, even if it's not us. We just want to hope that they can get served. So Thank you
Okay,
so
I'm
much.
looking really
This has
quick. Okay, I
been
do have your
really
email, so we are
informative.
good to go.
And if any
But if that's
questions
all, I guess
come
I'll
up
hop off and let you
after
guys
you
do
hop off, I'll
more
be
of
sure
your
to email you.
team stuff.
And
And
yeah,
I
I
thank
would
you again
love
for having us, and I look forward to
just
partnering with
have
you guys.
that
And I hope that
information
My
that PDF
KY is
shared of
helpful
where
to you
the
and your
kiosks are
community and
throughout the
clients that you
state in
serve.
case we
And
do have
if there's ever
members
anything that you guys need,
who
if you're in
serve
the app and
close
notice anything
by,
missing,
and they can
feel
share
free
that
to
with
email
clients
me,
that
or if you
they're
notice
working with.
incorrect information, email me. I will get that added or fixed. But again, thank you guys so much. You'll have a good day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. All right, guys. We just got like some small program updates, that we always do. And then we'll, open the floor. We got about 15 minutes. Sorry, I thought I had this opened, but look at me. I have a check-in question, so we'll start with that. If you can either unmute yourself or you can write it in the chat. But the check-in question is, what do you like to have for lunch? What's something that you just really
Are we doing
enjoy
this in chat,
having on your
or
lunch
are we
break
saying this out loud?
or on the weekend?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Chat.
No, whatever you thought.
Oh, well, I can tell you Derek loves cheese sticks and has cheese sticks every day.
Yes, I walk across the street and get cheese sticks.
Every day.
No, you can unmute yourself. Yes. We've got some Mexican. Emily does an adult Lunchable. I love those so much. Cheese and crackers and fruit. Yes.
I said
Tacos.
earlier, I don't know what Papa Fajita is.
Eddie recognizes this question. I took it from HHCK staff meeting because I enjoyed it. I don't think anybody else did, but I did. I like learning about what people like to eat. Like what do they, enjoy? Food is a really big part of people. Papa fajita or pizza. Michael likes Sprite. You just want to. Huh? Is that what's Papa fajita, Angie? Tony prefers Mexican, but lately it's been a ramen kind of week or time at work. I love ramen. I love getting the chicken pack of ramen and then make it. And then I like to put a good square piece of cheese in there and melt it. So good. I also like soup. Soup was really popular with the HHCK staff and Mexican. Those were the two big ones. I love soup. Okay, well, good to know. It sounds like when we get together for the service project. We'll do Mexican. That sounds like people really enjoy that. Okay, well, I'm going to share my screen now. Thank you, guys. And I hope I didn't make anybody too hungry. I promise I'm sharing my screen. It's just taking a minute. Angie, that sounds delicious. Now I am hungry. Adriana says bagels. Ooh, I love a good bagel. Valerie loves a good bagel too. Okay, well, I'm not going to take up too much of your time. We went through the check-in question. This is just another little update about tax information. So if you're a AmeriCorps Direct Service member, you received either both an electronic copy of your W-2 and then also a hard copy mailed to your address that we had on file. If for some reason you have not received a copy of your W-2 at this point, please email me so that I can connect you to our finance director, Wendy. Yeah, that's just some standard stuff we wanted to make sure that we covered. The email looked very much like your pay stub emails from Wendy, that electronic W-2 copy. And then, yeah, your hard copy, it's going to be the same exact thing. But Wendy did both just to cover both tracks. Vista members, your W-2s are mailed directly from Vista. I know that's information that we shared back in December, just getting everybody ready for W-2 tax time. If you have any issues, or if any issues have come up, please contact the Vista Member Support Unit. You can contact them at that number. That's the National Service Hotline. There should be a specific extension to go to that support unit for Vista members. So just letting you know that, because as you know, Vistas, you get paid directly by Vista at the federal level. Your W-2s and your living allowances do not funnel through our office. So unfortunately, Valerie and I can't be too much help, but we can at least get you to the people that can help you with that. AmeriCorps Week is March 10th through the 16th. So be on the lookout. Valerie and I are going to get together and brainstorm and probably set a Google form to you guys at the beginning of March. Obviously before March 10th, we'll give you some time to look over that. We really want to highlight you all. We did this last year. We scheduled social media posts throughout that week. And we had a really great, what's the word? I'm not a social media person. Presence, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, it was really nice to have others that follow at the Homes for All page and HHCK recognize the great work that our members are doing. With that, we just shared a picture that you guys shared with us in your AmeriCorps gear. And then, yeah, we just made a little post on Canva and just shared a little bit of information. Again, this is if you want it. So if you don't fill out the Google form, we're not going to blast your information on social media. It's only if you fill out the Google form and you feel comfortable with us sharing about what you're doing, maybe a really great success story or something that's really impacted your service year so far with you. And again, just sharing what location, like what service organization you are
If there
at.
are like any
Um,
other events
so yeah,
that come up, then I'll
we
definitely
really look
share those.
forward
But that seems to
to
be the
doing
big one in
that.
like mid-March, and I'll send that with the
I think,
March
Valerie, you
email
can
in a
correct
couple
me if I'm
weeks.
wrong. AmeriCorps had sent out some webinars that may be happening that week, and she's going to send out that information to you all. It says that it's for alum, but I don't think it. I think it's geared to current AmeriCorps members and also alums. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So that's really fun. A lot of other a lot of other AmeriCorps programs also spotlight their members during this week. AmeriCorps will also share highlights of AmeriCorps service at the like national level, and also Serve Kentucky will share some spotlights, at our state level. So that's a lot of fun. It's a week to celebrate you. You should let your sites know so that they celebrate you guys during that week too, because we appreciate you guys so much. Spring service projects. So Valerie and I are in the early planning phase of this, but I will say we are going to have dates definitely nailed down in March, early March, but we're looking at either May 8th and 9th or May 16th and 17th. That's a Thursday and Friday. In March, we will have more details about what partner organization we are going to be working with. So you'll know what part of the state we will be in. During this project, we are doing construction. Typically, we're doing construction services, but we will also make sure that other types of services can be done too. That's going to help the organization that we partner with if you are not able to do those construction services. So don't worry about that. We're going to make sure that everybody can be with us. We will cover the hotel expense. We'll do mileage. We'll cover lunch. Our hotel that we'll stay at, we'll have breakfast. We'll have lunch together. And then, we will do a group dinner as well. So it will be either on a Thursday or a Friday, so towards the end of the week. I know a lot of us have kiddos and families or other, life. We have lives and we have people that we love and support. And so I just wanted to give everybody a heads up now in February what or when we're looking at being together for this project. But I promise in March we'll have those dates really nailed down, and our partner site that we'll be with. So it's a lot of fun. It's so much fun, and I think we'll have pretty good weather. Last year we were in Hazard, and the weather was actually really beautiful. It was at the end of April, and so that's why I'm thinking more in May. And we also don't have to worry about kiddos and their spring breaks. All of those spring breaks will be done and over with, but we'll obviously have the project before school lets out for the summer. So just keep that. You can kind of block off those dates on your calendar just to keep them in mind. But again, we will have the for sure dates early March. Just remind, this is for AmeriCorps Direct Service members. So if you're working directly with clients, today is when performance measure service forms are due to us for the following month. So if you served any new individuals or households or families during the month of January, we just ask that you send those over to us. If any of the households that you reported on previously have been housed, you will fill out a wrap-up form, and if they were housed in January, or if you forgot to report their housing date for December, you would fill out that wrap-up form and send it over to me or Valerie. Same with volunteer reports. This is just we are a family. A friendly reminder about service forms and volunteer forms. Vista members, the Q2 progress report was emailed to your site supervisor at the beginning of February. It covers November, December, and January. So if you haven't sent that over to us yet, if you could do so by the end of the week, that would be great, so that we can continue to report on our projects and what you guys are doing across the state at your organizations. And then same for Vista members, the impact story, that Google link will be attached to that monthly email that will be sent out by Valerie at the beginning of March. We just ask that you, I'm ahead of myself. If you haven't submitted one for the month of February, please do so by the 20th. And then again, Valerie will share that monthly email with the Google link for March. So if you have any questions about that, please let me know. We do share this information. I just did our Vista continuation earlier this month, and a lot of those stories are shared in our grant to continue to be able to partner with organizations and have our Vista projects across this state. And that is it. I'm gonna turn my screen off, or not turn my screen off. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. And if there's anything in the chat that didn't get answered, we'll see. Oh, Valerie's on top of it.
And really sick pop sockets. That's what I was.
Does anybody else have any questions for us? I know we were hoping to, if you want to stay on, if you have some things that you want to talk to me or Valerie or others in our program, you are more than welcome to. We can stay on for, another 5-10 minutes and chat if you want to. If not, you can hop off. That's totally up to you all. And I hope you guys received the sweet little Valentines
I
that
just have a quick question,
we
Michael,
sent
here.
out.
So
I hope
what's the,
you got
what was
those
it? The
wherever you were
story
at
that's
across
due on
the
the 20th.
state.
That's Vista, right? That's Vista members? Okay, good. Because I was like, girls, like what? Like, I ain't done any impact story, but okay. We're good.
Yeah, I just want to let you guys know those pop sockets were free. Sorry, I'm very proud of that. You guys don't understand how member gear is never free, so I jumped on that.
They are. I'll make sure of that.
Happy early birthday. Derek's birthday's next week, too.
70 years young.
Lord, honey, you're still a pup.
That's what everybody at my church says. I'm the youngest one at my church.
Karen, I feel happy early birthday,
One of
Karen.
the fellas that does construction says, well, you don't look that old. And
I
I said, well,
hope
what does old look
Habitat
like to
takes you
you?
out and
And he
treats
says,
you real
well,
good.